A while ago I said some unkind words about Risk on Twitter, and after being quite justifiably called out, I found myself having an opinion. Originally, I'd planned to make this video an exploration of why the hobby gaming community, myself included, can be unreasonably harsh about classic and toy store games. But the more I thought about it, the less mysterious it seemed. And really, I think it falls on a spectrum between two things. At its best, it's an expression of frustration that our hobby isn't more widely known, and there are people out there who don't know they could be playing much better games. At its worst, it's an expression of massive elitism and gatekeeping from people who think that our hobby makes them smarter than the plebs. Either way, it's not a topic I really feel inclined to spend 5 or 10 minutes opining on. So, that was easy. Video done. See you next month. Okay, I still have some minutes left to opine this month, and by this stage, I'm sure you all know just how much I love opining. So what can we do instead? Tell you what, how about I take a dive into some classic games and say some nice things about them? And if we're going to do this, let's start on easy mode. Chess. Seriously, I don't know if chess even counts as a board game. Like Go, it feels like this immutable, universal idea that's always just kind of been there. But it is a game, it is played on a board, and it is sold in toy stores, so it counts for the purpose of this video. Chess is probably the game I love the most, that I also play the least. Its brilliance is undeniable just by virtue of the sheer amount of theory that exists around it. It's a game that exists outside of luck as a pure battle of the wits between two opponents. It's a game that people can and do spend a lifetime mastering, which is why I don't really play anymore. Look, I'm fine at chess, and I do own a really pretty chess set, but I just don't have the level of commitment it would take to become really good at it, which means I've kind of capped out on my chess experience at this stage of my life. But it is a beautiful and sublime game, and I love that it exists. Okay, that was easy. What should we do next? How about Cluedo, or Clue if you're feeling nasty, or North American, or both? I actually think Cluedo has a great deduction mechanic at the heart of it. At the start of the game, 3 pieces of information are hidden away, and all the rest of the information is randomly distributed amongst the players. Players then make a series of speculations, and if another player can prove your speculation wrong, they have to reveal a new piece of information to you. So it's all a race to put the pieces together as quickly as possible, while still knowing that if you make an accusation and you're wrong, you're out of the game. There's this great dynamic of needing to make an accusation as soon as possible, but also not jumping the gun, and being forced to cooperate with other players, but also trying to bluff and delay for as long as you can. It's really cool, and I'd love to see those ideas taken into a more modern game. And let me know if something like that's out there, because I'd be on that. Okay, what should we do next? Scrabble. So people get Scrabble really wrong. People think Scrabble is a words game, and it's not. Scrabble is a tile-laying game that has a words theme, and that distinction matters. And honestly, it's a pretty solid little tile layer where you're trying to open up big scoring opportunities while simultaneously blocking your opponents from taking advantage of those same opportunities you're opening up. Having a good vocabulary helps, but the people who win at Scrabble are the people who are good at Scrabble. And that's not always the same people who know the most words. Let's do Catan. Now, I said in the intro to our Ticket to Ride Europe video that I didn't think Catan had held up all that well, and I stand by that. But we should never downplay the importance of Catan in the history of board gaming. Without Catan breaking through in the 90s, we probably wouldn't have a modern board gaming revolution like the one we have now. It brought Eurogaming to the wider world and established the popular foundation on which so much of our hobby is built. Also, saying "I have wood for sheep" will never not be funny. Change my mind. Okay, this is going well. I think we can get into hard mode. Let's talk about Risk. I don't like Risk. I don't think Risk is a good game. I don't think it's balanced. I don't like that someone can effectively win in the first 20 minutes and then spend 4 hours grinding out the rest of their victory. And I don't ever, ever, ever want to play it again. But I have to acknowledge that Risk is in the DNA of almost every modern war game, including some of the best games on my shelves. And for that, we do owe it a debt of gratitude. Also, Risk Legacy was apparently pretty good, and more importantly, it helped catalyze the whole legacy genre that other games have done some amazing things with. So, thanks for that, Risk. And then, there's Monopoly. Okay, we'll do Monopoly. If you know how to win Monopoly, you can make it so grindingly unpleasant for all the other players that they will never ask you to play it ever again and might listen when you suggest a different, more fun game. No, that's not fair. That's not in the spirit of this video. Okay, look, Monopoly succeeds in its goal. Not the goal of Hasbro or Parker Brothers or any other publisher who's marketed it as a fun game. It succeeds in the goal of Lizzie Magie. Lizzie Magie was a progressive economics communicator and feminist, and in 1904 she designed the Landlord's Game, which was the precursor to Monopoly. The goal of the Landlord's Game was to demonstrate how awful and socially destructive and unpleasant Monopoly situations are, and Monopoly is still demonstrating that in homes all around the world to this day. But that really is just my opinion. What do you think? Are there classic games on your shelves that you think deserve to be held in higher esteem? Did I give any of these games too much credit or too little credit? Let me know down in the comments, and as always, like, share, subscribe, follow us on social media, and I will see you at the table.